Greetings to you all. This is Tyra. I'm here to talk about the new moon in Scorpio. It's happening on November the 20th. It's Thursday, and it will happen at 1:47 a.m. Eastern Time. So, yeah, this is a nice moon. I like this moon, and we're going to talk about the general meaning of the moon, and then I want you to be thinking about what new moon intentions do you need to set, or perhaps be preparing yourself for something new that the moon will bring to you. And I will definitely go through the signs. Um, I'm sharing the first part of this video with everybody, and then I'll share a little bit more, go into a little bit more depth um, for those in the membership as well as in my Goddess Transformation Coaching Program. But yeah, whatever I share here, it's going to be highly beneficial. Okay. So, new moon in Scorpio. And oh, also, I want to just say, I want to share this in a way where if you are busy, you're out and about doing things, you don't have to sit and watch the video. You can listen and, keep moving if needed. And if you want to sit and watch the video, eventually I will show charts and things like that. So you can join me for that. So this new moon in Scorpio is very auspicious. I will actually go on ahead and bring up the chart. It helps me to look at it. It's at 28 degrees of Scorpio. So we definitely want to think about the new moon. This is a time to set new moon intentions, and you want to do that as close to the new moon as is possible. Sometimes we don't get to do the work or set our intentions day of, but I want you to keep things super simple. Write down what you want to call into your life. This moon can bring quite a bit to you. Now, I want you to be thinking about something. This new moon is it's Scorpio is this moon that is all about alchemy, change, transformation. It's like something is there, but it becomes something new. So I want you to be, and then Mercury is there, and currently Mercury is retrograde along with the planet Jupiter. So whenever we have planets that are retrograde, that are interacting with the moon, which both of those planets are, then there's something you can reclaim. So I want you to be thinking about what is that for you. And I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. I want you to use your hand and a pen or a pencil and write down what you're calling in. If you already have some intentions that you've written down, I want you to pick them up, or like mine are on my wall, I'll go over and touch them. You want to connect to whatever it is that you're calling in, because this moon it will deliver. But again, it largely might be, I kind of see this moon as the moon that is you've been putting in the work, and it has been a long and hard, arduous road. And what this moon will do is bring back, say, for instance, lost opportunities, but also taking something that has previously been a mess or something is wrong with it, and it gets alchemized and becomes something new. And it could be you, because Scorpio is about deep, deep healing. So, first we have it's a new moon. So, write down your intentions on a piece of paper. I encourage you to do some rituals. You can light the candles. Um, you can pretty much, I like keeping things simple, but as I go forward, I'll share other things that come to me. But like at the very least, write things down, write down your intentions, light a candle. So Scorpio is all about change and transformation. And what Scorpio wants to do is take any of the wounding that is there, and it wants you to heal. Now, where is it asking you to do this? It's asking you to do this in general, okay? But we can look at what area of life this applies to you, as well as to um yeah, you can think about what area of life does this apply to, and I'll go over that eventually. So um but most of us know already what it is that needs healing. I think that we've been dealing with something for a while, and it's time for us to get a breakthrough. That's another thing that I think. It's like breakthrough to the point where you get healing. Now, what will happen is there will be a little bit of, I think, a reckoning. That's how I'm going to say it. There's going to be a little bit of a reckoning, because it's kind of like, hey, you need to look at this place in your life where you are wounded, or where you need to change, where you need to transform. And maybe you've been resistant, maybe you've been slow to do it, but there will be moments, because in this moon, there's this interaction between the moon and Uranus, where it's kind of like you got to weigh. Are you going to go on ahead and get the breakthrough, or are you going to stay where you are? Okay. And so these are the things that I want y'all to be thinking about. Where is it that I need to change and transform? Because essentially, what this is going to lead you to is growth, expansion, abundance. This moon has the potential to bring a lot of success, a lot of blessings, and ultimately growth and expansion for you. And so you want to be already thinking about, where is this happening in my life? What needs to change and transform? What wounding needs to be addressed? And we do have quite a bit going on in the house that has to do with family. So maybe it's something ancestral, maybe it's something dealing with your family, it's some long-term um topic. Now, the money topic is huge with this moon. So it could be there's going to be familial healing around money, around resources. I'm hearing to tell somebody out there, you fell out with somebody over money, and this moon is an opportunity for you to release that wounding. It's 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 that it's time for you to turn the wound into wisdom, for you to step powerfully into releasing all of that, because it's keeping you from becoming fully who you have been called to be. Um, Scorpio also is about being focused. It could also be about obsessions. It has to do with the psychology of the mind, but it's one of these signs where it's like, hey, we need to go super deep, and it can become obsessed. Now, maybe some people need to release obsessions, but also there's this energy where it's like, if you need to really dig in, dig deep in order to create the change, or in order, because Scorpio is also about strategy, in order to get yourself to a place where you really want to be, then set those new moon intentions, and also just connect with the energy of this moon, because it is giving you the possibility and the energy to go on ahead and dig deep and stay focused and get done whatever it is that you need to get done. I feel sort of like some of us are needing to get across a finish line. So I just encourage you to go on ahead and receive the energy of this moon in order to do this. It is a moon that has to do with secrets and taboos. It's very spiritual. There's a lot of energy in this moon that has to do with water. So it's interacting with Neptune and Saturn and Jupiter. So it's this watery energy bringing a lot of blessings, bringing intuition, bringing healing. It can help us. I think some of us might be needing to feel soothed, and it can help to bring it could be like a soothing balm for some of you out there, some of us. Um, so I want y'all to really open yourselves up to the healing. Like I said, it's about secrets and taboos. And so some on the one hand, we can think about secrets being you're going to learn something that has been hidden from you that maybe it's going to be good for you to have this information, or sometimes it's like spiritual secrets. It's getting into the depth of a thing. It's getting into the esoteric wisdom. It could be that some deep profound insights come to you, and so open yourself up. Don't be surprised if there's like something that it's like this depth that's there. And with Scorpio, you cannot be on the surface. Scorpio wants you to be, um, it wants you to go deep. And so don't be surprised if over the next year, because this moon can last for a year, you can feel yourself going very deep into a thing. You can heal the psyche. So, open yourself up to having your psychology healed. It can help to heal fears and intimacy issues, anything around sexuality and intimacy. This is a new moon. Set those intentions. Again, Scorpio does not want to be on the surface. It wants to be deep. Okay. Now, this is a moon that has to do with money. So, it's your personal finances, it's debt and inheritance, also grants, scholarships, fellowships. Mm, yeah. So, all of these shared resources in general, or if you have a significant other, especially if you're married or you're in a long term committed relationship, the money of your partner, but also your money is being brought into this too, because Uranus is in Taurus, which has to do with personal resources, taxes. That's the word I was looking for. So definitely, if you have any of those money topics coming up, first of all, it's a new moon, so it could be bringing something new when it comes to one of these money topics. But if you know you have something going on, then use this new moon to help you come up with a plan. This is a very strategic sign, and it can help you come up with a plan. With Mercury being there, could be a lot of ideas coming to you. And there's like this energy of spirit and the great mother in this moon. And so it's like maybe there's going to be some wisdom coming to you around from spirit around finances. I think it could straight up bring some blessings for people. And I know people need, financial blessings. A lot of people need some financial blessings right now. Um, so open yourself up to that. Now, this is a moon where I do believe a sacrifice is important. It's important for you to understand. You're gonna need to make a sacrifice. Now, what your sacrifice is, let spirit guide you to understand. Maybe you already know what that sacrifice is, but it's like in order for you to get to where you want to go, what are you willing to give up? Because the thoughts that we have, the life that we live, it's like an anchor. And in order for us to move into a new place and do a new thing, you have to get the anchor up and so that you can get moving. And so it's like our thoughts and our actions, our habits, they become anchors for us. As a matter of fact, our identity in general, I want you to think about the ways that you describe yourself. And that is going to determine quite a bit about what is able to come in or not come in, okay, into your life. So I want you to be thinking about what are you willing to sacrifice in order to move into a higher level of success, to become a new person. Scorpio is about death and rebirth. And so you get to be rebirthed. You get to be rebirthed. We are going to be rebirthed at that new moon in Sagittarius, right? So I just encourage you to think about what is the sacrifice that you need to make? What offering do you need to give up? Um, and I think to a large extent, it has a lot to do with something that's on the inside of you. This is the moon that deals with dark energy. It really it can be Scorpio can be very, very dark. Um, and so I want y'all to, the new moon is a dark moon, but I still want you to shine the light into the darkness and look at like maybe there is some fear you need to give up, something that is maybe the secret. Maybe there's a secret that you need to confront within you. But most of the secrets that we keep, it's like are dealing with our shadows. We don't want anyone to know about, those dark parts of ourselves. And so we keep them a secret. But I think with this new moon, it's kind of like sit down and talk with your shadow self. Um, or at least cut her some slack. Or don't let parts of yourself control you that are not supposed to be in control. It's a lot about releasing the parts of yourself that feel like the worst of you. And it's like, hey, I need to learn how to integrate or embrace the parts of myself that just seem like the worst parts. That's how I want y'all to be thinking about this, okay? This is about research. Is there something you need to research? Or do we have researchers out there? Um, this is about being able to do a deep dive. I do feel to a certain degree that we have to get back to being able to look at one thing for a while. We need to reclaim our attention span, our ability to focus and concentrate. And this moon can help us to do that. And it's kind of like, what is it that you can do a deep dive on? What do you need to research? And for a lot of people, it's like, hey, you need to do a deep dive on yourself. You need to take time and get to know yourself and, maybe kind of come up with a plan and a strategy for what are you going to do to create what do you need to do for yourself? Okay. What is it? What deep dive do you need to do within you that would allow you to make changes that need to be changed, make transformations that need to be changed? Scorpio wants to purge. It wants to release. It wants to let go. And then we have the South Node in Virgo right now. And so when we have the South Node in Virgo, that's all about, again, it's like there's clutter everywhere, but maybe it's not there. I know there's a lot of neat people out there, but maybe you have a cluttery mind. You have to think about where's the clutter. And that South Node is like, we got to get rid of the clutter. We got to get rid of the extra stuff combined with this new moon, it's like, come up with a plan for how are you going to get rid of all the extra stuff. And it might be internal baggage, it might be literally physical baggage, it might be emotional, spiritual. What is it that you can do to purge and release and let go? Scorpio wants to compost, it wants to recycle. These are all the things that I want y'all to be thinking about. Yeah, let's see here. I think that this moon can, and I may have said this already, I'm looking at my notes. Um, this is a very auspicious moon because it's a new moon, which is always about new beginnings, but also it has Mercury there meeting the sun in its retrograde. So whenever the Mercury is retrograde meeting the sun, it's kicking off a new cycle, a new Mercury cycle. And so it's this double meeting energy. It's called conjunction. It's a double energy. It's like double new beginnings energy. And so it can bring a lot of new things into your life that you desire. And I just see it as highly auspicious. There's a little part of this moon where it's kind of like whatever you are able to manifest, you will be able to keep it. I love this moon so, so very much. And see, Scorpio gives you the ability to stick and stay. It's called a fixed sign. And so when you are dealing with fixed energy, it will stick with you until the end. Scorpio is very slow to trust, and it could be bringing up trust issues for some of you all to get healed up. But Scorpio, it's very slow to trust. But once you get a Scorpio on your side, you have that person will be, if they're healthy. Now we don't want messed up Scorpios, but if they're healthy and balanced, they will be there with you till the end. Just as long as you don't betray their trust. Scorpio will stick with you forever. They are some of the most loyal people you could ever meet. And they're all in because Scorpio brings this level of intensity. So this moon, along with these, this double new beginning energy, is like, hey, it's gonna help you to stick and stay. Scorpio is like all about trauma, but it also has the healing elixir in it. And I really do believe that this moon has more healing elixir in it than anything. And then it's Venus is there, and she is a planet that is about bringing abundance and good fortune. The moon is interacting with Jupiter. Jupiter's down here in Cancer. Now, it is retrograde. This is part of the reason why I'm like, this moon will help you to reclaim something, okay? Mercury's retrograde, Jupiter's retrograde, is interacting with Saturn and Neptune. They're retrograde. So it can reclaim something, but there's so much energy that's about blessing, good fortune, opportunity in this moon. So I really want y'all to work with the moon. Okay, I have to look at my next page. Okay, so also I think that because of some of these planets that are meeting, this is a moon that can help you reclaim your power, stand in your power. It can bring about a karmic healing as well as a breakthrough. There's a little part of this moon that's a little bit rough. Don't get me wrong. There's something unexpected that could happen. And I really do think the unexpected thing has to do with what are you going to give up in order to get what you want it. Either I don't want to say it'll happen whether you want it to or not, but that's just how Uranus operates. It really does things that are kind of like, hey, I'm not giving you an option. This is just going to happen. But it always wants to take you to the next level. Don't get me wrong. And so I just think that, yeah, there's something here around the breakthrough will come through making some type of sacrifice. Let's see here. Okay. Empowerment. Yeah. It's all about stepping into your power, owning your power, and but it'll feel almost like the next natural thing. There will be a little bit where it's like, no, I'm putting my foot down. No one's going to take my power away. But some of this is kind of like this natural unfolding that will happen over the next year that will help you to step into your power. But the only way you're going to do it now is you got to be willing to make a change. All right? You have to be willing to give something up in order to become someone new. Now, I talked about the karmic healing. I believe that there's a healing of core wounds, and these wounds could have to either do with your body, with yourself. You just core wounds to who you are, as well as core wounds around money. And so, if you already know that you have this, you may not know the path forward, but just with grace and ease. This is one of the moons where you say, with grace and ease. The goddess that I associate with Scorpio is Oya. We can always think about that crone face of the goddess. We could talk about Kali Ma, Pele, Sekhmet. These are the kinds of goddesses that have to, this is the kind of energy we're working with. This is not, oh, it's like I'm just gonna manifest and it's like all this beauty and ease. No, this is a moon that has to do with going into the darkness. This would be a moon that I would say is like the heroine's journey, where if you're going to find your power as a feminine being, that is found deep down in the darkness of the self. It is going into the Hades of the self. This we could also say this has to do with the womb. Not Scorpio is not the energy of the womb, but it is the energy. Wait a minute. It is the energy of the portal. So, the yoni. Um, and so it's tapping into that sexual energy power that we have going on also. But all of this is like this reclamation of the feminine energy within you, or either tapping into it in a whole new way. Because Scorpio is about going down deep into the earth. And what's down there? We have people doing all kinds of drilling down into the earth because all of the resources, the natural resources there on the earth, they are so precious and valuable. That is the feminine path. That is where we find our power. We must go down into the depths and the darkness within and connect with that dark goddess within. You may want to read about, if you don't already know, or revisit the story of Persephone or Inanna and the descent that we have to do in order to tap into our power. But with so many of the transits here, it'll be welcomed. There's a ease that's here. Um, so let's see here. Definitely, there's some energy around hard work, just because Saturn is a part of this moon, and Scorpio energy does work hard. Okay. So yeah, this is what I was trying to get from my notes. Hard work and hanging in there over this last year. Whatever seeds you have sown, this moon is going to help those seeds grow. So if you've had a rough year, this moon can help you to shape it and make it, it's like this richness that comes out of it. You're standing in your power, you've changed, you've transformed. Um, but there is a little bit more where it's like you got to hang in there. There's still the work that we got to do. Oh, another thing too is there's, if you know about Dwads, there's this energy of Cancer in this moon at that 28th degree. It has to do with the 28th degree. And we do have Jupiter in Cancer, and it's interacting with the moon. It's interacting with Saturn right now. Jupiter is. And so this energy of Cancer, it's about care and compassion and love and nurturance. I think that self-love is going to be a major factor in how this moon plays out for you. How much are you loving yourself as well as self-care? How much are you caring for yourself? Something else that I'll say is, Scorpio is very similar to Aries because they're both ruled by Mars. It's like, hey, focus. One of the things that we could say it has to do with is if you are focusing on things that have nothing to do with you, it's taking you away from your destiny. It's important for you to focus on your destiny. Focus on your home, focus on your family, focus on the things that are honestly your responsibility, and do not get distracted by going out and taking care of everybody else's stuff. You got to be focused on your stuff. You got to take this action. The other energy that's there is Libra. That's in that 28th degree that I was telling you about. And so Libra is all about balance and harmony. And it wants to refine a thing. And it's interesting because Libra brings the balance, and then Scorpio comes right after Libra. It creates extreme highs and lows, and there is no balance in Scorpio. Like I said, Scorpio is this energy of obsession. Okay. Um, but you know, it's all about the cycles, the different cycles that we go through. Um, and so yeah, we come into balance with Libra, but then we've got to go deep and we've got to transform and we got to alchemize with Scorpio in order for us to be birthed anew in Sagittarius. But this will happen over a year. Y'all need to give yourself a year for this moon to fully play out. Okay. I do want to share that I'm going to put this moon up. So I do want to share that I decided to do a reading with my Ifa oracle, or my oracle from me being a priestess of Yemanja. Let me say it that way because I'm not an Ifa priestess. I'm an Orisha priestess. Anywho, I just could not believe that the Odu, this is the name of the wisdom, um, the reading is called O'Shea. I pulled O'Shea, and O'Shea is all about, first of all, it is the energy of Oshun. I find it to be super interesting, but this is just the teachings of Ifa. It's the energy of Oshun, but I do relate it to Scorpio. I'll just share a little bit here. It says, Oshe Meiji brings the energy of transformation, creativity, and abundance. Now, I do want to focus on abundance because this is a reading that has to do with abundance. Okay. Oshe, O-S-H-E or O-S-E is how you spell it. Um, it reminds us to celebrate beauty over negativity and to compost life's challenges into wisdom and sweetness. This is such a great time. I mean, this is a double portion of these themes. So you can really and truly move past something that has been so hurtful and negative and step into wisdom and sweetness. It's about taking a bad situation and seeing how it can be recycled for good. It is analogous to the phoenix rising, and the phoenix rising is 100% Scorpio. 100% Scorpio. Now, Oshe Meji indicates victory is indicated both at home and over enemies. So I want you to open yourself up to being victorious. And it's so interesting. The Scorpio has to do with money. This moon has to do with money. And Oshe Meji has to do with money. Money in abundance is very important topics, but I believe they're going to be brought to you naturally. Okay. Also, love is indicated with this. The key with this Odu, number one, you got to have faith. And number two, you've got to have confidence in yourself. So these are things that you may need to be thinking about. Do you have faith? What is your faith in? You have it, but the question is, what is your faith most in? Are you lacking faith in yourself? Where is it that you need to have more faith in your life? And then you must have confidence. This Odu speaks to the importance of you having confidence in yourself. And that is part of how you will be prosperous and abundant. One of my favorite lines from this Odu, I got this from the book called Awa Obi by Baba Oshundiya. Oshundiya, listen to this. A new precedent must be established in order to find good fortune. And so that's what this moon is setting you up for. Remember, I mentioned sacrifice, dying to the old, giving up some stuff, letting go of stuff, purging, releasing in order to step into something new. This Odu reminds us to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. What might spirit be teaching you through this difficulty? What is being purified, reborn, rerouted in your favor? Now, another one with this Odu is say your prayers. If you need a ritual or some spiritual tool or activity to do, O'Shea says, pray, 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 pray. All right. It's pretty much you're speaking life into what you desire. You can also use water with this Odu. It's always important to use water. Um, and we do have a lot of watery energy with this moon. So maybe you take a spiritual bath or you use the water. You could just get some fresh water and anoint yourself with the water as a way of clearing and cleansing and purifying. But you know what? Make a donation to people who are taking care of the ocean and the rivers, or go out if you know people near where you are cleaning up and clearing around the ocean or the rivers. That's a sacrifice. Go out and help clean up the waterways. All right. Um, and do some healing around money and finances if that is something that is coming up. for you. The last little bit that I'll share is release what haunts you. For haunting weakens your faith and belief in yourself. What is haunting you? What is haunting you? And that's that heroine's journey that I've been talking about. So I want you to be thinking about what is it that you need to be focused on, and I want you to be thinking about how can you use this moon based on what you already know about your life to write intentions or reconnect with intentions to get to where you are desiring to be. Okay. Where do you want to go? And then write it down and think about what I've shared and how can this moon help you? How can this moon help you get to where you want to go? And we've talked about all the things that you can do in order to make that happen. All right. So thank you to the sisters who are here on my live channel. I'm going to go on ahead and end it here. Blessings of the mothers and the ancestors be upon you and yours now and always. May this moon be super blessed to you and yours. And I want you to keep me posted on how it unfolds. All right. All right. Thank you. Happy new moon in Scorpio.